Okay, so a lot of you have been asking about all this drama with Young Thug and Gunna, and now Lil Baby's gotten involved, and, well,
It's a whole lot.
it's a lot to untangle, for sure.
So we're going to deep dive into all of that today.
Yeah. Let's try to make sense of this whole mess.
Yeah. I mean, starting with, like, just the fact that Young Thug was reportedly stabbed,
Yeah.
that's crazy to me.
No, that's scary stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes you think about just how dangerous things can get for these artists.
Yeah, for real.
Like it reminds me of some of those feuds back in the day, like Tupac and Biggie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, those ended tragically, and
Right.
it makes you wonder if we're headed down that same path again. You know?
Right. And then you layer on top of that the fact that Young Thug and Gunna were already beefing.
Right. Yeah, they've had this public feud going on for a while now.
Yeah. We don't know exactly why they're at odds, but
Right.
but it's been pretty obvious that they're not on good terms.
Absolutely. And that's what makes Lil Baby's move so interesting, you know?
Yeah.
He basically called Gunna out in front of everyone.
Yeah, he did not hold back at all.
Nope. And it's got everyone wondering why now, you know?
Right. Like what made him decide to jump into the middle of all this?
Well, I think loyalty probably plays a big part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Young Thug and Lil Baby are close.
Yeah, they've been friends for years.
Exactly. So maybe he felt like he had to defend his friend, but it could also be something more personal, you know? Maybe there's some bad blood between Lil Baby and Gunna that we don't know about.
Yeah, you never really know the full story with these things.
Exactly. And plus, we got to think about the impact all this has on their careers, too.
Oh, absolutely. This is not just some personal drama.
Right. This is their livelihood we're talking about.
Yeah, feuds like this can affect everything from record deals to tours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Their music, their brand, everything is tied to their public image.
Right. And their fans, too.
Oh, yeah. Their fans are super invested in all of this.
Yeah, and they take sides.
Big time. And that can be a powerful force for sure. Definitely. And that's what makes Lil Baby's move even more impactful.
Oh, yeah. It's not just some random tweet, you know.
Right. He has millions of followers.
Millions. And they all saw what he said about Gunna.
It's a big statement.
It is. And it highlights the role social media plays in all of this, too.
Oh, for sure.
It's like a megaphone for these feuds.
Yeah, it can really blow things up.
Absolutely. But, you know, it can also be a tool for de-escalation, too.
True. Yeah. Artists can use social media to try and clear the air or even apologize.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a double-edged sword, for sure.
But at the end of the day, these feuds are often about way more than just music.
Right. There's always stuff going on behind the scenes, you know?
Totally. Like, I remember this one time when I was working with,
Yeah.
well, I can't really say who it was, but
Sure.
it was this whole big public beef, and everyone thought it was about a song, but really it was about
Right.
some personal stuff that had nothing to do with music.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, it's wild.
It is. And it reminds us that we should always be careful about jumping to conclusions, you know?
Totally. We only see what's on the surface.
Right. There's always more to the story.
Always. So where do we go from here?
Right. I mean, we've got Young Thug recovering from this attack. We've got his feud with Gunna still going strong.
And then Lil Baby jumps in the middle of it all.
That's a mess.
It is. So what happens next?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. I mean, will this make things worse?
Could be.
Or could it actually force them to finally address what's really going on?
I mean, it could, I guess, but who knows?
Yeah, it's tough to say, but it definitely makes you think about the responsibility these artists have.
Right. They have a huge platform.
Huge. And their words and actions have a lot of power.
For sure. So how can they use that power to break this cycle of violence, you know?
That's a great question, and I don't know if there's an easy answer.
Yeah, it's a complex issue.
It is, but it's a conversation we need to keep having, especially as this situation continues to play out. So, yeah, we'll see what happens next. But in the meantime, think about that question, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what role can these artists play in shaping a more positive future for hip-hop?
It's something we all need to think about.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Absolutely.
We'll keep you updated on everything as it unfolds.
Yeah, stay tuned.